Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your MLB baseball previews and predictions for a Wednesday, Hump Day, June 16th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are watching on a mobile device. Today's podcast brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join, and we do have a new leader here at bullpenpicks.com. In fact, it's old faithful Ed Drake, Muss, 777. Hey, there's a lucky number right there for you, Eddie, 777. And then you got Justin coming back in second place. Justin's been up and down all year. He's 768. And Eddie O from Montreal at 752, rounding off your top three. And there's already the one-man party, Art 55. Arthur Kent at 737. Wasn't first place yesterday, but I guess he didn't have a great day yesterday. But good to see Art in fourth place, and we'll see what they have going here today. In fact, if you want to follow my picks, and folks, I've been saying this is day one. This is the number one tool in baseball for winning picks, and what you want to do is follow the top scorers. And as you see in the top scorer, you know, you could be king of the hill one day, and then next thing you know, you're in third, fourth place. But that's what happens when you follow winners. You will have winning days, and you will follow winners, and that's what we're all looking for at the end of the day, right? We want winners, and that's what this is at bullpenpicks.com. Speaking of winners, Gary A. I see you, Gary. I see you, Gary, at 8 wins in a row here at streetcatcher.com. In fact, Gary had the Chicago White Sox yesterday, and if you click on that, you can see the White Sox. Good job, Gary from North Bay. And Gary's a good friend of the show, so we wish him all the best, because if you can get to 12 wins in a row, he wins $500, and if he gets to 17, my lucky number, he wins $1,000 here at streetcatcher.com. All right, let's get ready to rock and roll here with the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Miami Marlins. Now, the Cards coming to this one as a home underdog in this one. The forecast does like the Marlins here, 3.5 to 3.1, the over-under at 6.68. Sandy Alcantara going here today for the Marlins. He's up against Johan Oviedo for the St. Louis Cardinals. They are 1-5 in Oviedo starts. St. Louis on a 2-game win streak after a really long stretch of losing. The last 3 games have gone under the total, and don't look now. The Marlins now on a 3-game losing streak. The total in this game, 7.5, and the Kogo is at 69%. Byline on this game, plus 136 for the Marlins, but minus 198 for the Cards, so you can see you're getting good value on St. Louis. The Brew Crew. The Brew Crew are going to take on the Cincinnati Reds. Now, Milwaukee in a 2-game losing streak, and looking at today's starting pitchers, you got Freddie Peralta going to stop the bleeding here for Milwaukee. They are 9-3 in Peralta starts, and he's up against Tyler Mahle, who's having a pretty good season when he goes for Cincinnati. They are 10-3 in this starts, but a lot of overs, though. That's the only thing that concerns me. Anytime I see a pitcher that has the team record of 10-3, but the overs 10-3 in those starts, tells me that he's probably getting a lot of run support. So, you know what? We'll take a look here at the Brew Crew today to see if we can find some value. And speaking of value, I do have them listed at minus 140. You can see there on the VI, the value index, or what I call the Vegas index. And minus 140, and that's what the bookmakers have got here. So fair market value, and the Raymond Report all over it with our line. All right, speaking of line, let's take a look at this one. The line on the Kansas City Royals, who are now on a 5-game slide. That's right. Kansas City has lost 5 in a row, and they're taking on Tarek Skubal and the Tigers tonight, or actually this afternoon. The first pitch is at 2:10 Eastern. That's why I'm doing the show earlier today, guys. Get you the Raymond Report out early, so we got you covered for those 1 o'clock first pitch. And looking at, again, KC on a 5-game losing streak. Minus 128 is the line here on Kansas City. My line on this game was plus 119. The Kogo's at 53%. Again, Kogo stands for chance of game going over the total. And if you are new to the Raymond Report and you're wondering what all these abbreviations are, there is, if you go to our website and you go to look for the Raymond Report, we do have all the abbreviations. Like CAL stands for chance of winning, VI, Vegas Index, Kogo, the chance of game going over, VIC, the Vegas Index cycle. These are how I look at games in performance cycles, and that's just a little nutshell. And we also have tutorials. If you go to the website, and I'll show you at the end of the show how you can see our tutorials and learn the Raymond Report betting system. All right, back to this one here between the Tigers and the Royals. We do like a close-scoring game. Now, I think this was a tie yesterday in the Raymond Report on the computer pick. 4.61, 4.6 for the Tigers, the over-under at 9.21. And we'll see if Brady Singer can stop the bleeding here today for the Royals. Again, first pitch, 2:10. Tampa Bay taking on the Chicago White Sox. Tampa Bay got some bad news yesterday about Glasnow. He's going to be out a few weeks. Hopefully it's not as serious and that he can come back, because that will be a big blow to the Rays' chances of winning the division and going to the World Series, because every team needs the race, and right now Glasnow is that guy for Tampa Bay. Chicago White Sox, the 112 favorite here in this one, so basically a pick 'em. Minus, look at here, 7.5 is the total. My line on this game, minus 188 for Chicago, but minus 190 for the Tampa Bay Rays. You're getting good value on the Rays, and you got Lucas Giolito here going for the Chicago White Sox. 6-7 the White Sox are, and Giolito starts, and he's up against Ryan Yarbrough. Yarbrough 6-3 on the year for the Rays when he goes 8-1 to the over. So a little bit of the same situation as we talked about with Tyler Mahle, right? You got a pitcher who wins, but I don't like seeing a lot of overs on a pitcher like this, because it just tells me like he's getting a lot of run support or he's getting hammered. But if you're 6-3, that means you're probably winning those games. Last night, 3-0 Chicago. So Tampa Bay bats were very quiet last night at Guaranteed Rate Field. We'll see what's going to happen today. This is the game I'm going to watch here at 2:10, and I'm just thankful this game's an afternoon game. I don't know you guys, but once you get to 9, 10 o'clock at night, once you get over 50, you can't wait to. It's the opposite when you're young, right? When you're young, you go to bed late, wake up late. When you're young, you'll get a little older, you're in bed earlier and you wake up earlier. But anyways, all right, let's go to the next one here between San Diego and Colorado. Now the Padres, losing last night on a 2-game lose streak, but that's Coors Field, right? Coors Field will do that to you. But it's too bad Colorado doesn't win on the road, because last night they beat Yu Darvish and the San Diego Padres 8-4. And today Blake Snell going to go for San Diego. He's up against Kyle Freeland of the Rockies, and Rockies on a 2-game win streak, 27-41. Keep in mind they only got 5 or 6 wins on the road, so that's like 21 wins at home. Talk about your Jekyll and Hyde team, right? 47 chance percent on the chance of winning the percentage play here for Colorado, 56 for the Padres, and Blake Snell when he goes for the Padres, 5-8 for San Diego when he starts for the San Diego Padres. My line on this game, minus 187 for San Diego, plus 157 for Colorado. Oakland taking on the LA Angels. Now the Angels go into this one as a road underdog. Minus 125 is the price here for the Oakland Athletics. My line, minus 165. And looking at the Halos here, I had them at minus 103. Computer pick, going to go with the LA here, 5.6 to 5.2. The over-under at 10.87. A victory last night for Oakland, 6-4. And Cole Irvin going to go here today for the A's. He's up against Griffin Canning of the LA Angels. And the last 5 games for the Halos have gone over the total. And don't look now, the Oakland Athletics on a 5-game win streak. The last 4 have gone over the total. Washington taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Bucks going into this one on a 9-game losing streak. That's right, Chase DeYoung, you got a big job to do. Big job to do today. You don't want to say that 10 times. Up against Paulo Espino of the Washington Nationals. Now 160 is the price here on the Nats. The over/under is set at 9. ATS forecast computer pick gonna go with Washington, 5.7 to 3.9. The over/under at 9.72. Looking at Washington on a 3-game win streak, 29-35 on the year, 21-42-1 to the under. And my line on this game, again, 2-dog situations. And when you see the VI, the Vegas Index, this is what I put on, like, say if I was on the stock market and I were to put the Nationals on the Dow Jones Industrial, I would say, you know what, today on June 16th, they are worth plus 127. So you take that line on the VI and you compare it to the actual bookmakers. And this is where I say all the time, perception versus reality. This is perception. This is reality of what they're really doing. And then you find the equalizer, right? For Pittsburgh, perception plus 140, the reality plus 195. So you see what I mean by having your mindset compete with the bookmaker in the market psychology of sports betting. And that's where you got to find winners, right? And if you follow the Raymond Report, you know we're all about 3 things: value, percentage play, and performance cycles. And I'm going to add a 4th element eventually, and that's the situational handicapping, which I do when I put in my picks at bullpenpicks.com. All right, let's get to Boston against the Atlanta Braves. Now, what a game last night. Boston jumped out to that early lead. Atlanta came back and tied it, and then Boston pulled away at 10-8. Now, Garrett Richards is going to get the call here today for the Boston Red Sox, who are on a 2-game win streak, and he's up against Ian Anderson of the Atlanta Braves. The Braves' last 2 games have gone over the total. My let me see here. My line on this game, minus 160 for Boston, plus 112 for Atlanta. So Atlanta overvalued. 60% chance of winning today for the Braves, and the computer pick going to go at Atlanta, 4.69, 4.41. The over-under at 9.1. New York Yankees taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. And you know what? All the guys that I follow last night at bullpenpicks.com were all over Toronto. I was the only guy on the Yankees last night. And I just felt it was a good spot. And for some reason, New York always plays Toronto well. Normally in Toronto, but in Buffalo last night. And, hey, credit to the Yankees. They came back to tie it, and then they won that game. And we'll see if that's a different story here today. But Garrett Cole, he's having a so-so season. Anytime you see these type of pitchers, the aces, I put these guys in the same level as the top pitchers in the league when you compare back in the good old heydays. I'm always going back to the Pedro Martinez, the Roger Clements, the Randy Johnsons, those type of pitchers. Garrett Cole, even though he has that high price tag of a salary, has not delivered record-wise for the New York Yankees. Come on, it's the Yankees. The whole lineup is full of all-stars, right? Yankees 34-32 on the year, but when Garrett Cole goes for the Yankees, 8-7. So this is where I'm seeing if they're getting the return on investment on Garrett Cole, or it's just that he's not getting run supports in his starts. But we'll find out today at 7:07 in Buffalo, where the Blue Jays, we had them at 4.32. We had the Yankees at 5.61. The over-under at 9.93. And looking at today's starting pitcher for the Blue Jays, Ross Stripling, and when he goes, they're 4-5 on the year, and Toronto now on a 2-game losing streak. Baltimore taking on the Cleveland Indians. Now the Tribe going to this one as a 152 favorite. I had minus 151, so perception versus reality is right there. And looking at Baltimore, we do have an upset brewing here. 7-7, 3.67. The over-under at 10.67. Aaron Savali going to go here for the Tribe, and he's up against Keegan Akin of the Baltimore Orioles, who are now on a 6-game losing streak, and Kogo's at 46%. Kogo, again, stands for chance of game going over total, so if it's at 46, meaning a 54% chance of game going under between Baltimore and Cleveland. All right, Cubbies taking on the Mets. What a game last night. This was I watched this game. It was 2-0 Cubs, 2-2 with the Mets, and then they went ahead 3-2 and got the job done, closed the door, and turned off the lights. Good night, Irene. And that's all she wrote last night for the Mets. 3-2 victory. Now, Jacob deGrom going to go here today for New York. Now, remember, deGrom came out, I think it was his last start with, I don't know if it was a shoulder injury. Not an injury, but just tightness in one of his shoulders. So it's going to be interesting to see how many innings he goes here today. And he's up against Robert Stock here of the Cubs. And we do like the Cubbies in this one. 4.8 to 2.3. The over-under at 7.1. And now the Cubs, last 3 games have gone under the total. And the New York Mets on a 2-game win streak. Texas Rangers, man, what a disappointment last night. If you watch that game, Alex Correa, the 1-2 count, the Texas Rangers closers in, and boom, 2-2, bottom of the ninth. You think you got the game won. It's there's 2 outs. You got it's a pitcher's count, right? You got them at 1 ball, 2 strike. Anything can happen, and Correa just cranked it out of the yard. And credit the Houston Astros. You know what? This is a good hitting team. You saw yesterday on the Raymond Report, this is the number 1 team on offense this year, and they proved it last night why they're the Houston Astros. 175 is the price tag here today. Minus 156 is the line. The Kogo at 32%. We do like Houston here today on the computer pick. 3.9 to 3.7. The over/under at 7.72. Jordan Lyle up against Zach Greinke, the veteran, who's when he goes for Houston, they are 10-4. But again, look at that, another high-scoring total, 10-3-1. So to me, that tells me that maybe he's getting a lot of run support. But you know what? They got the job done, and it's just demoralizing if you're Texas Rangers. You think you got your state rivalry rival in the bag, and next thing you know, you're going extra innings. All right, D-backs taking on the Giants. Now Arizona, a road underdog in this one. My line, minus 181. The bookmakers got 176. 35% chance of winning compared to 85 for Merrill Kelly and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And 12-game losing streak for Arizona. San Francisco now on a 2-game win streak. 9-8 win last night against the same D-backs they're facing tonight. 9:45 first pitch. And 4.61, 3.34 favoring Arizona. And we'll see if Merrill can stop the bleeding here today at Oracle Park in San Francisco. Minnesota taking on the Seattle Mariners. Wow, what a win last night. They got a touchdown and a field goal, winning 10-0. Justice Sheffield going to go today for Seattle. He'll be up against Bailey Ober of the Minnesota Twins. Twins, man, it's just not meant to be this year, right? It's just one of those years after a really good season last year. And, man, it just, what's, if you got to put your thumb on the, stop the bleeding here, what's the problem in Minnesota? You got to wonder what's happening. I think it's they burnt out their closer at the beginning of the year, and it just spiraled down after that. Minus 130 for Minnesota today. My line plus 132. I had plus 140 for Seattle. 5.2 to 4.4. The over-under at 9.64. So it does like this game here to go over the total tonight at T-Mobile Park. And your last game of the night is between the LA Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies at Dodger Stadium. First pitch tonight, 10:10 Eastern, and I'll probably be, where I'll be, probably watching from the old bedroom there. Minus 154 here is the price. The over/under set at 8.5. ATS forecast computer pick gonna lean with the Dodgers here, 4.5 to 3.7. The over/under at 8.34. 19% chance of winning for LA, who are sending Clayton Kershaw to the hill. He's up against Zach Wheeler of the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Phillies now, last 3 games have gone under the total. Dodgers on a 3-game win streak. They're 41-26 on the year. And folks, don't forget, you can always follow my selections each and every day at B-Ball Picks. Sorry, not B-Ball. We're still in baseball here. B-Ball is for our basketball selection. But again, I want to thank everybody that has signed up. Man, we started this website at the beginning of the year, and we got close to 900 players playing right now at bullpenpicks.com. So thank you, everybody who signed up. And again, you want to follow winners. This here, what's your incentive to play here? Follow winners. This is the Twitter of baseball picks, right? So if you want to follow winning pickers, guys like Art55, guys like Musk, guys like Eddie O, guys like Justin, MLB Game Picks. These guys have proven to you out of 100 picks, look at their score. And if you ever want to see what their score is, so let's say if I go to Art and I click on 737, and I'll just scroll down here yesterday because I know yesterday I got that logo in the way. You can see Art, when he has a percentage play of 73 to 100%, he's 13-3. Guys, these are proven winners that you want to follow. Look for the Expos logo. That's my handle, Ronnie Ray. And we're going to close out the show with your favorite segment here. Trends are your friends. That's right. These trends could be your friend here today at the Raymond Report. Hopefully they're your friend. The Royals are 11-1 as a 120 or 140 home favorite when they're coming off a game where they allowed 4 runs against in their last game for 91.6% the last 7 years. The Metropolitans, the Mets, 11-1 as a 120, 140 home favorite, coming off a 1-run win. Don't want to say that. It sound like Elmer Fudd there. A 1-run win. Last 6 years. And let me see here. What else do we got? The Royals, we got the Brew Crew, 11-1 as a 140 to 160 home favorite in the 3rd game of a series the last 6 years. So I always look at those. I love those series plays, right? Because it's like 2 out of 3s. And normally, but the Brew Crew has lost the first 2 of this series against Cincinnati. So this is a big game for Milwaukee. If they want to stay on top of that division, right? They're fighting to get that top spot in that division. And the Brewers are 11-1 as a 140, 160 home favorite in the 3rd game of the series last 6 years. And let me see, the Giants 9-1 as a 160, 180 home favorite, 3rd game of the series. So we got a couple of 3rd game of the series trends here today. And the Boston Red Sox 9-1 as an away team, the 2nd game of a series this season. So you might want to consider. Let me see if we got a nice total. I like to finish with a totals trend. Hopefully it pans out for you. Here we go. Yeah, we'll go with this one. The under is 10-2 for the Royals as a 120 to 140 home favorite versus left-handed pitchers the last 4 years. So hopefully these trends are your friends today for a Wednesday, Hump Day, June 16th. Folks, thanks for watching the show. Appreciate you. And again, if you do enjoy it, please hit the like button. And if you are new to the Raymond Report, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. And don't forget, you want to follow Gary A. right here. He's going for win number 9 at streetcatcher.com. Cheers.